as a case study. My name is Michael Nath. I have in the studio with me here a career development and marketing consultant in the person of Anthonia Enigbokan to look at ways to provide insight on this episode of Business 24 as we discuss capacity building and career development, self or corporate responsibility. Anthonia, you're welcome to Business 24.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
You're welcome. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, we'll bring you papers with headlines on business. Don't go away.
Powerful looks command respect, they say. The perfect body, the perfect grooming, and ultimately the perfect skin. Looks, style, and grooming makes the ultimate man. Found a ridiculously easy way to make my skin always feel epic. My name is Neo. I found Blemiviv, and now my skin finally makes sense.
Dry Cleaners Limited, professional dry cleaners, best in dry cleaning and laundry services that meets the needs of our consumers. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Yeah, for clean wash and quick delivery. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. For clean wash and quick delivery.
So Dry Cleaners, clean wash, quick delivery.
You're welcome back, and you're welcome to headlines on some of today's Nigerian businesses pages. Now we are starting with this one this way. Subscribers face endless hurdles to retrieve SIM cards. Anthonia, what have you got to say about this?
Honestly, I think it's really ridiculous because I happen to actually experience part of the ordeal, and it's ridiculous that at this stage, the government couldn't even put an adequate plan for people when retrieving their SIMs. I mean, these are SIM cards that people use for their businesses. These SIM cards rather must have been registered before today. Sure. And we have some business owners probably have clients registered on that line. So it's really sad that people have to go through that sad process to retrieve their SIM cards.
All right. Now, Nigeria, other African states face debt crisis and slow growth.
Well, for the slow growth, I would say we're in a pandemic. Okay. So I think it's partially acceptable to me.
So the slow growth must...
as long as there is growth already, it's a different thing if there's no assurance of any growth at all. But since there is growth, no matter how small, then it means the possibility of clearing the debts is obvious rather. So
okay. It's all right. The last one we got here is passengers to pay more at Easter on shortage of aircraft. Well, that would be second to the last, actually. So,
for passengers traveling by aircraft, well, our roads are not so good, and for local movements, right? For this period, I think everyone is just trying to be safe. But still, one of the cultures I've noticed over time in our country is usually during the festive period, there's always a hike on everything. Yeah. So I don't think it's actually surprising that the same thing is happening. But I would still advise...
They are attributing this high cost to a particular factor.
Well, for aircraft...
Shortage of aircraft.
Yes, for the shortage of aircraft, we can still actually relate it or tag it to the reason because of the pandemic.
Okay.
Yes, I know. I'm aware that several aircraft are not flying in this moment. Yeah. I even heard about a particular situation where people are bringing in fake COVID-19 tests to the airports. So we having the shortage, I think, is understandable because of the pandemic. So I just think it's wise for people to stay wherever they are to just celebrate Easter. Besides, it's just a weekend.
And so it's all over.
It's all over.
Now, the last one here is trading in Africa. How Nigerian exports can win.
For a growing economy like ours, I would say we definitely need to look for every other means to build our wealth as a country. Yes, everybody knows Nigeria happens to be one of the richest countries in Africa as a continent, but still, exportation is very, very promising, is very, very resourceful, and I think it will be very good if we can actually leverage on that resource that we already have. This is a particular area where several other countries in Africa are actually wishing they could actually be in. And so I think it's an advantage for us, and it will be very good if Nigeria can actually leverage on it.
And on that positive note, we are closing these headlines from some of today's Nigerian dailies that dealt with business. I will be back to you, Anthonia, for more responses. That will be much later in the program. So we're going to take another break now. When we return, we have more.
Powerful looks command respect, they say. The perfect body, the perfect grooming, and ultimately the perfect skin. Looks, style, and grooming makes the ultimate man. Found a ridiculously easy way to make my skin always feel epic. My name is Neo. I found Blemiviv, and now my skin finally makes sense.
Swift Dry Cleaners Limited, professional dry cleaners, best in dry cleaning and laundry services that meets the needs of our consumers. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Yeah, for clean wash and quick delivery. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. For clean wash and quick delivery.
Swift Dry Cleaners. Clean wash, quick delivery.
Powerful looks command respect, they say. The perfect body, perfect grooming, and ultimately the perfect skin. Looks, style, and grooming makes the ultimate man. Found a ridiculously easy way to make my skin always feel epic. My name is Neo. I found Blemiville, and now my skin finally makes sense.
Swift Dry Cleaners Limited, professional dry cleaners, best in dry cleaning and laundry services that meets the needs of our consumers. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Yeah. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Yeah, for clean wash and quick delivery. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. For clean wash and quick delivery.
Swift Dry Cleaners. Clean wash, quick.
You're welcome back. Now, it was an American author and motivational speaker, Earl Nightingale, who said, and I quote, "Jobs are owned by the company. You own your own career." How true. Economic growth of a country subsists on the collective growth of all manners of businesses operating in that country, from small through medium to the large-scale enterprise. Given an enabling environment with favorable fiscal and monetary policies, the quality of workforce operating a particular business from top to bottom determines the success or otherwise of the business, thereby making staff capacity building and career development a must. Now, as a set of programs designed to match an individual's needs, abilities, and career goals with current and future opportunities, career development is not achieved overnight. It is a process of self-knowledge, exploration, and decision-making that consists of skills, education, and experiences, as well as behavioral modification and refinement techniques that allow individuals to work optimally. However, going by what Nightingale said, that jobs are owned by the company, but you own your career, is a career development more of a self or corporate responsibility? A big question there to answer. Now, this question becomes necessary for two reasons. First, what happens if after a company invests heavily in capacity building and career development of a worker, and the worker starts looking for a new opportunity, a fatter salary and bigger package, or maybe he is even planning to go abroad in search of greener pasture? Secondly, must businesses always open their doors only to ready-made, experienced and highly skilled workforce alone, thereby leaving no room for entry-level applicants? Businesses and staff career development in perspectives. Let me now throw the ball in Anthonia Enigbokan's court to deal with. Anthonia,
Yeah.
You're welcome once again.
Thank you.
So you can see the issues, facing us right now. Let's start with what happens when, after a company or an establishment is done training a staff, and the staff at a point decides to leave the company in search of greener pastures or for whatever reason.
You see, when it comes to capacity building for employees, I always like to bring this illustration into place.
Okay.
For instance, a farmer sharpens his cutlass for a particular reason, to get better results at the farm.
Sure.
He cannot say, oh, okay, I don't think I should sharpen this cutlass because it might get stolen.
All right.
It might get missing. But as long as he has that cutlass, he's ready to give it whatever it takes to make it sharp enough to produce the kind of result he wants. So I always like to liken that to the organizational setting. When you train your employees, it's not a matter of whether they leave or not. People would always move, whether you train them or you don't train them. It's in the human nature. We would always want something better for ourselves. So any employer thinking of capacity building for their staff should know that they should have their business in focus. What if they don't leave? You decide not to train them and they don't leave. That would be at the detriment of the progress of your business.
Yeah, sure.
So whether a staff leaves or not, that shouldn't even be your problem. Your own concern should be that as long as this staff is with me, I'm going to sharpen the person up so that throughout the period this person is present here, I'm getting my results. I'm equipping this person. Even if this person is spending 1 week, I want that 1 week to be useful. I want that 1 week to tell on my business, should influence my business. So once you are business minded, you are thinking of the growth of your business, you wouldn't be bothered about whether the staff would leave or not. You really can't hold people back. You can't stop people from moving. Movement is a human element. We must move.
Definitely.
Definitely. So for me, I don't think any business owner should be bothered about whether their employees would leave or not. The most important thing is as long as that employee is in your organization, do everything it requires to make them give you the best outcomes. That's it for me.
No, but you know, some people may decide to seize this opportunity. For instance, you have expectations, higher expectations of going to higher or better companies.
Yeah.
Now, you know that a particular company offers this special training that you so dearly require. You go there, obtain this training, and then dump the company and move over to the other one.
Okay, I think that is where professionalism in terms of employee management comes in. Any organization that is looking forward to being properly structured, there are certain things the organization needs to put in place. For instance, knowing what plans your staff has. You're employing someone. That is why one of the questions that is being asked at interview settings are, what are your plans for the next 5 years?
We're going to continue from there shortly when we come back after this break. Stay with us.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. And it's Blemiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiville family.
You're watching iBrandTV. Our sincere apologies for that protracted break in transmission. It was due to some technical hitches which our able technicians have been able to take care of. So you're welcome back. Before now, you were listening to Business 24, and we're still on it. And a reminder here that we still have in the studio here career development and marketing consultant in the person of Anthonia Enigbokan. I hope I got that right.
Enigbokan, you got
Enigbokan.
it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, now you have said so much about staff career development in relation to business establishments. The next question I want to ask now is, since staff career development is very, very crucial, would you advise business establishments to engage the services of only experienced, ready-made and skillful staff and probably ignore the greenhorns? I mean, those who are inexperienced.
Okay, firstly, I would like to clarify 2 things.
Okay.
Firstly, I do not think there's anything like already made, because every job has its own peculiarities.
That's
so
true.
Regardless of the level of experience you have, regardless of how skilled you are, when you get to a job, you will definitely need to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So there's no such thing like an already made candidate or applicant. So the second thing I want to clear is the area of experience and skills.
Okay.
One of the major problems we have in Nigeria as a whole is that most candidates, especially our recent graduates, believe, oh, because we are freshly out of school, it's not my fault if I don't have experience. It is okay for me to express or identify as an inexperienced person. The truth is, there's no excuse for inexperience.
Really?
Because that is the reason why we have internships. That is the reason we have holiday jobs. And for employers hiring services, it is really not about the years of experience, except if that particular job requires an extensive experience. But when hiring, it is more about who is skilled and who is teachable. Those are the 2 major requirements an applicant need. So whether the person is freshly
who is already skilled and who is teachable.
Yes. So whether an applicant is freshly out of school or not, it is not an excuse to be unskilled. You can be freshly out of school and be very good at a particular thing.
That's true.
So the ideal thing for you to do is whatever skill you have decided or whatever field you have made up your mind that you want to identify with, brush up your skills in that field. Bring yourself out and put yourself out there and have a teachable spirit. So even at an interview, for instance, as long as you're able to prove your skills and also show that you are teachable, you will definitely be chosen over those who have years of experience, because what we need is actually those who are able to actually produce results. And as long as you can prove that I have the results you're looking for, then definitely that person will be hired, because
you become employable.
Yes, you become employable. And another mistake is most candidates, especially recent graduates, when they go for interviews, I always tell the ones that work, because I have an online platform where I work with entry-level professionals. So one of the things I always emphasize is, for you to have been invited for an interview, it shows that the employer already needs help. So do not go to an interview looking like a problem. He already has a problem and he wants to hire you. So go there with the mindset of a solution provider.
That's a very, very crucial one.
So don't go to an interview saying, you speak like you have a problem. Of course, he doesn't want extra problem. He wants to hire a solution. Regardless of whatever thing you might be facing, go there as a skilled person and say, this particular area, I am skilled at it. I can give you the solution you're looking for.
Even when you can't.
Not even when you can't. That's why I'm like, I said initially rather, that choose a particular field and be skilled at it.
Okay.
Being skilled could be taking courses at it. Being skilled could be being volunteering and taking up volunteering opportunities whenever they come up. As students, during your long holidays, what do you do? Whenever you are home, what do you do with your long-time holidays and vacations? You don't just play around. Look for where these opportunities are. Volunteer to work for free. Build your experiences. I don't think you want to work in the banking sector, you want to work in the media, and you present yourself to volunteer in any of the top media houses, and when you're really ready to come for when you're really ready to apply for a job, you come to iBrandTV, for instance, and you're like, oh, okay, I actually interned here, I actually worked here, okay, I volunteered here. This person already have the basics of what the media house needs.
The voluntary service you're talking about now is working without getting paid?
It could be without getting paid. But the truth is, the knowledge you are after is what should be on your mind. You are after a knowledge. This is something you'll be adding to your CV. So at the long run, when you're ready to actually launch your career, go into the world, definitely you already have experience in this path. So you are definitely not going to identify as an inexperienced person anymore. So the fact that you're recently out of school doesn't mean you shouldn't have any experience at all. So once a student gets admission into a university, I always advise, from your first year, begin to look for opportunities. Begin to seek opportunities. Be fast about identifying the career path you want to work in. Then begin to look for opportunities in those areas and gain knowledge. Once you are out of school, you already know the basics. So an employer knows, I'm not bringing this person to come and start teaching you ABC about this. This person already has background experience. It's just for me to build on it. And he has a particular skill that I really need. So it's a give and take situation.
Okay, now, I was going to ask, the next question I was going to ask you, which would be our last question, would have been your professional advice to business establishments in relation to staff skill development. But you've taken care of the individuals, the would-be employer, employed candidates. Now, what advice do you have for business establishments in this regard?
I always emphasize that even as candidates are going into an organization, candidates should look out for what the organization has to offer to them as well. So as a business or as a business owner, one of the major things you should have in your organization is structure. You shouldn't make a candidate come in looking like, oh, they need me, there's nothing here to offer. And that is one of the reasons why we have employees who behave who have lackadaisical attitude at their jobs. When they come to an organization, you as a business owner should have done your homework. Okay, you're bringing in these people. Do you have plans to build their capacity? Do you have plans for training? Do you have other benefits? These are also things that wouldn't make any staff just jump up one day and say, okay, I'm leaving. There are certain extents that will be satisfactory to any employee that will say, okay, for this particular stage, I think I'm all right. So for businesses, it is more about skills. And as much as you are going out to get talent, you also need to have your homework done. That, okay, when I bring in this talent, do I have all the structures in place to keep the person, to maintain the person, and make sure the person grows even in my organization? So that's it.
In other words, both the candidates, that's the guy seeking employment, and the company who is to employ, both of them have some roles to play.
Definitely, it's a give and take thing.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Anthonia Enigbokan, a career development and marketing consultant. Thanks for your thoughts. And for you out there, we really have to thank you for being with us. Another edition, a very interesting one, on Business 24 will come your way next time. The pleasure of presentation has been mine and Michael Nath.